we can see those all here, how we're trending. There's the latest one that I just got. And then obviously you connect it to Google or Facebook to route the reviews there too. So anyways, from there, I'll X out, and then let's talk about that batch invoice idea a little bit. And I think what I'll be able to do is kind of talk a little bit more about how you can connect a customer to like an insurance that you would bill, but do the job for the customer, or HOA in the same premise. So if I search for myself and go just Colin, right? So this is our customer list. You can pull everybody up here. And I'm gonna go ahead, scroll down here, click on my profile. So every customer has a profile, guys. So you can update contact info. If it's like a, if we're working for a company that has a bunch of different job site locations, we can add as many addresses as we want and then keep their billing address the same. So we have different things in here. But let's say we go to jobs and estimates, or invoice history more importantly. So I have a fake email address here, but basically if we want to batch invoice these out, we can actually click in, and I believe you can select all the jobs for that person. Actually, it might be here, jobs and estimates. Batch payment rather, and you can actually send out a batch invoice. So if I say this job needs to get sent out, this one and this one and that one, and they're all getting the same one, I can just hit batch invoice, fire them all off to the person.
Beautiful. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, now guys, so like that'll get sent off to there. Now I will clarify, and this is something I think we're working on fixing. It sends in one email, it'll send them the 4 different jobs. It doesn't summarize them all on one invoice for them. I do just want to be transparent about that, but it will send them all those 4 different jobs for the same work in that same email.
That's okay. It's all under a build, so that's fine. Yep. Okay.
Okay, cool. So now let's say profile. Like I talked about a little bit before, when you're setting up a customer, here's that this customer bills to. So if we know it's an insurance job, and I'm just gonna say they bill to, let's just say it's HUD. I'm gonna call mine Huggins Realty as the HOA because that's all I have now. What this does now, if we go to bill them, I'll hit update here. You'll notice that it's actually gonna bill it to the realty company. So in other words, scroll down here, find that open job again, job and estimate, go down, click this. I'm just gonna click one of these for now and hit send. Now it's gonna bill it actually to that address, but say here's the service address where we did the work, who did the work, what texts were there, but essentially it's saying, and the reason why we'd wanna do this is if we're working with a tenant and then we build the HOA, we still wanna get the review from the tenant to know how the work did and communicate with them, but ultimately the paperwork's gonna get funneled up here for payment.
Basically like renters. That's what it comes in.
Yeah.
Or like.
Yeah, so it sorts that out for you, and you can always add, maybe you find out later this person's getting billed insurance and you have them in there, you can always add them in and tie them together. Okay, last thing I kind of want to tie up here, guys, is just basically your reporting, your dashboard. So this will be where you come in so you can see those outstanding invoices. We talked about customers who may be falling through the cracks. So I think it's good. You'll see a bunch of reports down here, but we obviously can have something like open estimates. So I can see all my open estimates down there, which ones are open, which ones are won. As you can see, it's a fake company, so I have a ridiculously high win rate. So you can follow up with any customers maybe who haven't heard from you yet. We haven't necessarily written them off, but we haven't heard it yet. So you can create any custom reports on here. We have time tracking for the guys in the field if we're paying them hourly, if it's useful. Remember those tags we talked about, Mike?
Yeah.
So these are all just different tags I have that I pull into here just to see the different ROI and everything. So website booking, use Facebook, add residential versus commercial. It's more of just a visual reference. You probably just be like, I don't know if those all make sense in one place. And then just overall job reporting to see how you're trending.
Okay. Awesome.
Cool. So and then obviously, right, we can see with our different contractor subs how many jobs, all-time revenue. And this is something, guys, like with Housecall that I want to talk about is, you know, you may go through here, you might say, hey, you know what, it'd be really useful. I like this feature, but if it did X. The only reason I think that we've continued to kind of keep growing and get to where we were is by listening to our customers, right? Just like your experience with the customer is, I'm sure, important, so is ours. So whenever you have ideas and stuff like that, this chat bubble, we just take all that information in a methodical way, right? If one company wants us to be able to send some sort of emoji with the text message, well, you know, 1,000 other people out there want us to have a specific membership discount rate for a customer, we're going to prioritize towards the more popular choice. But with all our engineering team, the nice thing is we ship updates probably daily. A lot of them you don't even notice, but then there's a feature or two every week just to make your guys' lives a little bit easier. So just know that, like, we continue to build on top of this, because we know in any industry, right, if you're not really growing, you're shrinking. So but yeah, guys, questions?
Yeah, so obviously this is a demo. Do we have some in-house training once we sign up?
Yep, so that's a good point. So just with your plan here, and let me know, so we'd have about a total of 14 people using the system, is that right?
More like probably 18.
18, okay. Yeah, so
that'll
that'll,
grow.
I mean, you guys are gonna be on our package where any package at that level you sign up with, you get what's called a strategic account manager. And they're gonna be your kind of go-to resource. It's a single point of contact that's gonna understand your onboarding process to say, okay, when do we wanna go live with this? And then they're gonna understand, you know, what date that is and work with you to get there. So typically every week you're doing a call with them from 45 minutes to an hour to start. And then from there, you have their link anytime you want to schedule a call with them.